Oh, here we go. Game day, Broncos country. All you overdogs out there. Man, this is going to be a pivotal point, I feel like, for the rest of this season. A massive part of playoff implications are today, like against a formidable opponent in the Jacksonville Jaguars. Everybody's been clowning them, and it's kind of weird to have a week where we are not the team getting clowned and the team getting the fraud sticker on. So interesting week of prep into this game, and we will get into this game. This is the Get Bucked pre-game show. Let's get into it.
Shake the air. Get bucked. Here comes the thunder. Feel that quake in Broncos country. We're never afraid to take. The rivals gonna crumble in the spotlight's glare. Get bucked all together. Let's shake the air.
Inside the 15, inside the 10, the 5, touchdown Denver!
Ooh, got that mile high feeling today. Boys are back home playing a home game. Welcome to the Get Bucked pregame show here on the Orange and Blue Network. I am your host. Not the normal host. I am the unusual host of this part of the network. Pre-game duties here. I am Jay Weaver. With me, the marathon man for today. We need to get some sort of sticker or some sort of like ribbon that you get to wear on the day, the day you're doing the marathon. But the marathon man himself, Bronco Rob, how you doing today, sir?
Jay, it's going to be a good day of Broncos football. We got the Broncos taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And as you said in the intro, man, playoff implications start today. And just a reminder to all the haters out there that the Denver Broncos are the first team to clinch a playoff berth in 2025. So let's freaking go.
Yeah, man. Top line emotions for this game is kind of like what I said in the intro, is like the Jacksonville Jaguars don't scare anyone. I don't care if they come into a game undefeated. Like, just the franchise in and itself, Jaguars people are at worst indifferent. There's no haters to Jacksonville. I feel like in order to get a substantial amount of haters like the Broncos do, you have to be successful enough to have people hate you. So I feel like that's why Jacksonville has taken it upon themselves for this week going in, saying they are the underrated team. They are the team that everybody shits on. And that's usually us this year. So it's just a weird change of pace. What's your, 30,000-foot view of this game, Rob?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's nice to finally have some respect, even though I still think the national media doesn't think that we're legit,
Sure.
Which is, frustrating to say the least. But, the last handful of years, and I have a very good buddy of mine, Kevin in Jacksonville. Shout out to my boy. I don't know if he's going to get to watch the game today. He sent me a picture. He's in Times Square doing a little Christmas vacation. So shout out to him. But, I was hoping to carve out some, I was hoping to carve out some time and maybe, get some content with him. But, the man's a busy man. And, he every time I talk to him, he understands that the last handful of years, Jacksonville has just been a dumpster fire after dumpster fire after dumpster fire. So for the Jaguars to actually be in a position of, I think they're on a 4 or 5 game win streak. We're on an 11 game win streak. Thank you very much. Best in the NFL. It's going to be a tough game today. And just like Green Bay, I think Denver's going to come out on top because Denver's defense has been playing lights out the entire season. And our offense, even though we're not putting up points like Buffalo, we are still finding ways to win games, whether it's 1 score, 2 score, or a blowout. Denver has found a way to win every single game, 11 in a row, some way, somehow. And in Bo, we trust.
Yeah. No, man. I also said, the whole quote, Bo Nix quote that's been stamped on so many t-shirts out there, the overdogs, man. We are the overdogs. Thankfully, we are definitely not the underdogs today. Just some foreshadowing. We'll get to it, but 3.5 point favorites right now at home. So, we are predicted to win this game. We're predicted to, take care of business, which, this is, I guess, maybe a good narrative to spin for this game is this is a take care of business kind of game. Because if you are the number 1 seed, if you are going to tout yourself to be, Super Bowl contender, then at home where you're on a 12-game win streak should be, this should be a game you win versus Jacksonville. So I don't know, man. This has a lot of implications to it. There's a lot of grades to go out, I feel like, going into the last 2 games of the year being divisional games. So there's a lot to be said for this game as far as where we see the Broncos in 3 weeks or a month from now. But before we get, into maybe some details, some nuts and bolts to this game, I do want to throw out some housekeeping. We are the Orange and Blue Network. We've got 3 different shows just today in and itself. This is pregame, obviously, but we got, Bronco Rob, like I referred to in the beginning as the Marathon Man. That means for all our, newcomers here that he's going to be on all 3 of those shows. And he's like, the commanding voice, throughout this day. So, man.
No pressure, Jay. No pressure.
Shout from the rooftops. All right. Chest out. But, aside from game day, we literally have shows, and I'm not even going to put the slide up. I'll just, just a little flash right here. But I'm not going to go over the whole thing. But literally, we have content every single day, basically. So if you don't know us, please go find us. We're on all the social medias, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all the rest. We really appreciate that YouTube, though. So please go get a little sub, get a little noti for all the notifications, for all the content that we throw out. So we appreciate that. And then just the final little tidbit, little bullet point for this segment. We love our Dubby. We love our sponsor. It's terrific stuff. We've got a little, promo. We've got the Connect. We've been plugging these guys for, oh my gosh, like probably 2 years, a little over 2 years, I'd say. I don't even know the official date, but a long time. So we preach this, all the shows. This is the sponsor. But if you punch in OBN10, you're going to get 10% off. And there's a bunch of flavors. I'm definitely a Galaxy Grenade guy with the watermelon. But there's tons of, features to Dubby. No sugar, no calories, no maltodextrin, no fillers, no artificial colors. There's just a lot of positives that this provides that going to the gas station and getting a Red Bull doesn't. There's a lot of crappy energy drinks out there with a lot of fillers and a lot of just, riffraff. And we're not about riffraff here, Rob, are we?
No, sir, we are not.
Please go check out our friends at Dubby. Like I said, punch in that code, OBN10, get yourself 10% off. So we appreciate our sponsor out there. That being said, let me get into some comments. Some of the fellas are already out here. We got Ray Haas. Ray Haas in the building, LFGJ. We got Ty Fly. Half of the Incomplete podcast. We like our friend Ty over there. Some good content he puts out as well. LFG Rob. Hope you all having a great game day. it is a good game day, man. Right before the holidays, we got Bronco football that matters this deep into a season, which is honestly like should be a point that we should appreciate as a fan base in and itself. Because it's been a rough, year over year at this point of the season for, my God, 8 years, 9 years that football hasn't mattered right now, right before Christmas.
Well, Jay, I mean, this is the second year in a row that Denver's playing meaningful football in the month of December. Prior to last year, we had the 2 or 3 year dumpster fire that was the name that shall not be said. Biggest waste of cap money, in my opinion. But Denver has struggled, like you said, the past 8 years minus last year. Yeah. And with Bo Nix's arrival, shall we say he's the savior thus far, him and Sean Payton getting on the same page and producing, meaningful football and great play. Denver now again is in a position to make a playoff run.
Yeah. It's pretty nuts, man. Like we said, there's a lot of storylines to this game. This game matters a lot. I feel like in the forward-looking outlook to this specific season, but just again, thinking about past seasons and just kind of where we've been. We've traveled a lot in the arc of fan base expectations and feelings. So I feel like we're not quite there yet. We're pretty high right now. I mean, we're number 1 seed, but like I want to see it when it matters. Winter football, and we're in the midst of winter football, getting her done. So speaking of getting her done, we got D-Rock in the house. What up, fellas? What up, chat? We always appreciate D-Rock in the house. And then, the resident hype man himself, Shy Vargas in the house. Shy, he's going to have his own segment in and itself here on the back half of the hour. So always appreciate Shy in the house, resident hype man. Rob, either offense or defense, what is literally the biggest worry that you have going into the specific matchup against the Jaguars? Like details, nuts and bolts of matchups. What's your worry of this game?
Well, Denver comes in at 12-2. Jacksonville's coming in this game at 10-4, right? Mm-hmm. Broncos have one of I would say the top 3 defenses in the league, if not the top defense in the league currently.
For sure.
But Jacksonville is on like I said, a 4 or 5 game win streak, and their offense has been producing and putting up points. Their head coach, Cohen, has really turned the Jacksonville Jaguars around and made them a formidable team to win games. So, I think I'm not super worried on defense because our defense has shut down the best offenses, in the league. We shut down the Chiefs, we shut down the Eagles and Saquon Barkley. I take it your cat is getting into things, Jay. But defensively, I think Denver's defense is gonna do what it does best, and that's going to put pressure on Trevor Lawrence, shut down the wide receivers, and I think they're gonna hold ETN to. I'm not going to say that ETN's not going to have a day and he's not going to get at least 1 touchdown. ETN is a very good running back. But my biggest worry is I want to see Denver's offense start fast, start early, and keep up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Because there has been comparisons of Jacksonville to Denver where in the fourth quarter they've been able to put up points and put the games away and win. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. There was a podcast show that Aqib Talib is on, and what I can never Skip Bayless was saying that Denver hasn't had any blowout wins, and Aqib's like, we don't have to have blowout wins, we just need to win, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. Is if we have more points on the scoreboard than they do. That's all that matters. So whether we win by 1 touchdown, 1 point, 3 points, 20 points, it doesn't matter. Denver finds a way to win. And so if I had to have any kind of worry, it would be that the offense produces early and produces often.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, we we should have that worry going into every single game we've had this season because the offense has been so inconsistent. We have no idea on any given Sunday what version of our offense we're going to get. And I guess more specifically, what version of Sean Payton's play calling we're going to get. Are we going to be conservative as hell? Are we going to just specifically highlight and target one wide receiver like earlier in the year we had with, Troy Franklin of like, oh, it's a Troy Franklin game. He's getting 12, 13 targets where Cortland's going to get nothing. There were just a lot of random anomalies in this season. And so it's been very hard to predict the performance out of our offense. Our defense obviously has been a lot more consistent. That's why we're winning these games. So yeah, man, it worries for me specific to, I guess, matchups and whatnot. The Brandon Jones IR huge injury on the top for the safety spot really is troublesome. I think, he jumped off the page stats wise last year. He led our defense in tackles. I think he led our defense in interceptions as well. He literally was so multifaceted that he was just everywhere. And this year, because of Hufanga and because of some of the other, players on this defense, he's kind of been shrunk and kind of overshadowed this year. Haven't really had major huge props to Brandon Jones. He hasn't gotten a game ball obviously this year. But I feel like his absence is going to mean a lot more than we think to this defense. So I'm really interested to see what PJ Locke getting a lot of highlight is going to do. That's a guy that could maybe get picked on. I'm also interested to see if that happens. What is our next adjustment? What's Vance Joseph's adjustment at halftime if PJ Locke does get a couple bad plays? Jahdae Barron, this is kind of why we drafted him. To be honest, he's versatile. He can play safety. He can do a lot of different things. So the chess moves, I feel like, to that hole in our defense is going to be a really interesting thing to watch today for me, at least. Let me get back to comments real quick. We got Mile High Medlock, a half of the Outkast, the boys on Thursday night on this network. He says, ready for this Bronco beatdown today. Oh, let's go. And then the other half shows up. My gosh, you guys are holding hands in the chat room here. Tim Dog in the house. What up, fellas? He is the other half of the Outkast, obviously. And then the CEO, founder, the guy with the statue out front, my cousin, Johnny Bakke, the Mile High Viking. Always love him, man. Hey, boys, appreciate you holding it down. Yep, he's been hit hard, the past couple weeks or so. Now has bad sickness, the heebie-jeebies inside. So hopefully he recovers from that, aside from all the other shit. But always appreciate everybody there. Matlock says, pause, Jay. And then Ray Hass saying, feel better, Johnny. Absolutely. Thoughts and prayers out there for Johnny. Hopefully he's taking care of himself today. Sit back, watch a phenomenal Broncos game. And I can't imagine, I don't know this for a fact, maybe he can confirm in the chat, but he'll probably be eating some sort of game day meal. So with that, Rob, I want to transition real quick, little pivot moment. And I want to talk about some munchies real quick. All right.
Yes, sir.
And that music of that video is just such a banger. I was telling Johnny, all the soundtracks to all the shows, we need to make an album. We need to be like my boy Damari Mathis, who's pumping out some music content. We need to get on that train. We need to have an Orange and Blue Network soundtrack, latest album drop. But man, talking about munchies, Mile High Menu here today. Rob, what do you got on your feast for Mile High Menu here today?
Well, honestly, in the 5 hours that I'm going to be on shows today, I'm probably just going to have some snacks in between. But I did start with a little holiday cocktail this morning in my Super Bowl 50 glass. We're rocking eggnog, Dr. Pepper, some whiskey, and a little vanilla. I thought, it's December, it's Christmas time. Why not have a little holiday treat? But later I'll probably, again, air fryer is a staple. So we're probably going to air fry some sweet potato tater tots and some chickens, chicken fingers with some cilantro lime ranch. So that's probably what I'll have later on today. But in between, while we're doing these podcasts today, it'll probably be just some snacks.
Cilantro lime ranch? That is like the fanciest shit I think I've ever heard, Rob.
No, if you've never had it, you need to find it and try it. It's the shit. It's awesome.
Wow. Yeah, that jumps off the page to me at least. That's super intriguing. There you go. Sure. Well, I don't have anything like to that kind of concoction level. I mean, me myself, I'm doing a little Asian theme. Got some wontons that I'm air frying, and then we got some sesame chicken, and it's small portion sesame chicken. But on the other side, doing some broccoli beef. Doing yin and yang beef and chicken with
6,
some
7.
sticky rice. I already got half of it, dude. Oh, the stories I could tell with a 7 jersey, but aside from that. But yeah, man. Let's see here. We got we got some good stuff in here. All right, D-Rock with doner kebabs with fries. What is doner? Do you know, Rob? Is that some kind of game meat that I don't know about?
I don't know. D-Rock's gonna have to come in and clarify that one.
I'm pretty ignorant when it comes to certain hunting game meat type of things. Whatever it is, but. Thank you, D-Rock. We got the Yost. We got the Mile High Grunt, who will make his appearance at some point today here. But he's got at his house cheeseburgers, homemade fries. He's going to see you in 30 minutes, Rob. Mark it down.
Let's go, Yost. Let's go, Grunt.
We got Mile High Viking, boneless buffalo wings. Yeah, all right. That is a pretty easy, easy meal for the wheelchair. Totally understand that. Okay. Ray's got the Jack and Coke with a side of peanuts. Dang, he's got the Cheers or the bar menu going on there.
We got an answer from D-Rock. It's Greek, pretty much like a gyro.
Oh, then hell yeah. I'm all about that. Gyro, however you say it. It's delicious. All of the above. Tim Dog's got Mexican hamburgers going on. There you go. Yo saying lamb and flatbread. Y'all need some culture. Dude, I live in Nebraska, okay? Fill in the blank. All right. Well, for anyone else out there that's got, a menu on their horizon here for game day, please enter it in the chat. We always appreciate hearing what everybody's got going on here. No race relation drinks today, it looks like. But Rob, specific going back to the game here.
Yes,
what do you think of the matchup between Trevor Lawrence and this offense for them going against obviously our stout defense? I know I already kind of highlighted the hole that Brandon Jones is leaving and what we're going to do to, adjust to that. But this Jaguars offense is surprisingly putting up points and doing some things. I've been so surprised at how, productive this offense has been, but do you foresee that to be the matchup to highlight in this game? Or are you really looking at our offense to win this game on that side of the ball? What's your sides for this game?
Well, Jacksonville comes in with a top 10 scoring offense, in points per game and explosive.
Insane.
Play, right? And so our key for them is to limit the big plays, eliminate the big runs, eliminate the down the field passes, I hate to sound like a pessimist, but I'm a pessimist disguised as an optimist, honestly, but I'm also a realist. Riley Moss is most likely going to get a PI this game. Like Trevor Lawrence, he's a smart quarterback, but Trevor Lawrence also brings the same type of play style that Bo Nix does. Bo Nix can, get a first down with his legs, and so can Trevor Lawrence. So, in all reality, it's going to be up to our defense to contain Trevor Lawrence and shut down the run game, because we know that our secondary is good enough to minimize the big, deep plays, right? So, again, our defense is playing lights out. They're playing really good football in the month of December. So I think it's going to be, again, the defense's job, as Bill Belichick would say, do your job, to keep that Jacksonville Jaguar offense to a minimum. But again, sure. I'm not stupid, and I don't think any of us are. Etienne's going to have at least one touchdown. Trevor Lawrence is probably going to have a touchdown in the end zone, whether it's on his, using his feet or using his arm. But, it's going to be up to, Vance Joseph having a game plan set up for success for this defense.
Yeah. I mean, Brian Thomas Jr. is great. And but it's so nice to have the convenience of a PS2 that is just an automatic, blanker of any top wide receiver, no matter if you're Jamar Chase downwards, So as great as Brian Thomas is, like whoop-de-doo-dah, if you're going to be shadowed by PS2 all day, then who cares? So you kind of move on to like their next targets. And, they traded for Myers from the Raiders. He's been playing really well. Brendan Strange, their tight end, he's coming back from injury. I have him on a couple fantasy teams. I really, really have enjoyed watching Strange for, the time period he was healthy, because he's a target monster. They highlight that tight end position a lot. So again, like the stress test of the middle of the field with Brandon Jones gone at the top side is just going to be a scary thing to me. So it's going to put a lot more pressure on either Singleton or Greenlaw in coverage if they do, pull out. And that's, again, another note of Stranad. Stranad's not going to play, I don't believe, either. And that's another massive loss for a linebacker to be able to cover the middle of the field. And that's kind of, a big, I guess, highlight to matchup that I'm really worried about specific to that side of the ball. I don't know. It's a lot to take in, I think, on their offense. You said it's a top 10 offense, but it's multifaceted. Like, it's not a one-trick pony. They do a lot of things pretty well, very well-rounded. So it's hard to know what to expect out of their offense. So that's a scary thing. And I think it's interesting to note, that we're only a 3.5 point favorite. Like, I feel like, again, we're somewhat being disrespected because we're on a 12-game home win streak. We are the number one seed in the AFC. And like, Jacksonville has a good record and all, but like, they're fighting for a playoff spot, really, and where they are in the world. It's possible they miss the playoffs. It absolutely is. So they have a lot on the line compared to us, I feel like. So it's just it's a slippery slope kind of game to me. I guess on your scale, like 1 to 10, Rob, how worried are you? Like, where's your confidence level of this matchup?
Well, I mean, all day, every day, my confidence level is, going to be a 10 when it comes to Denver as a whole. But this game specifically, if I had to grade how much I'm worried about this game, it's going to be another tough game like Green Bay. Green Bay was a team that came in and, had things rolling and was a high scoring offense. But they came into Mile High and, we wound up coming out with the win. Now, the other thing you have to think about too, Jay, is Jacksonville is a C-level team and they're coming to Mile High. So I think tempo is going to be very important for Denver this game, and we are going to have to wear them out. In one of the media news clips, Sean Payton was told a story to one of the media guys. At one point he grabbed the defense and said, "Look at him," or sorry, grab the grab the. You weren't muted, Jay. grab the offense and said, look at their defense. Look at them. They're winded. They're tired. So I think Denver's going to have to keep that tempo up today. And, again, when they get tired, put the pedal to the metal and keep it down and keep it going. I think tempo is going to be huge for Denver today. Yeah.
No, very much so. We got I'm not sure if it's a new name to me, but Valor 4494. Do you know if that's a new name?
It's a new name for me.
So I'm raising my drink to that. Valor, he wants or she, I guess I don't know, locked up number 1 seed in the AFC. It could happen today. Obviously, we need a Patriots loss against the Ravens tonight. That's going to be a massive game. I can't wait to watch that game because obviously the Ravens are starting to put things together. So that's going to be a very competitive game tonight. But appreciate you being in here, Val. And then obviously we got Shy. If the Broncos do win, they lock up number 1 seed. I don't think it's not a win and we lock up number 1 seed. There's a lot of different scenarios, I think, to it. We need a Patriots loss, obviously. But I think there's even more than just that. So not decided today.
Now speaking of that, if the Broncos win today and we had Buffalo lose, we had the Chargers lose, and we had New England all lose today, then yes, okay, Denver would have locked up the number 1 seed. But seeing that Buffalo won and the Chargers won, we are going to have to win at least 2 of our last 3 games, which is Kansas City, the Chargers, and Jacksonville. So we need to win 2 of the last 3 in order to secure that number 1 spot. As of right now, as it stands, Denver is the only team that has clinched a playoff berth in the AFC. However, if you look at the NFC, you've already had 3 teams clinch a playoff berth: the Seahawks, the Eagles, and the Rams. Yep. Seahawks are number 1, Eagles are number 3, Rams are number 5. So, there's 4 left in the NFC to be, clinched, and there's 6 available in the AFC to be clinched. So these next 3 weeks are going to really, determine who sits at what seed. But as long as Denver keeps winning and we get a little bit of help from, those 3 teams, possibly dropping a game, it's going to come down to the wire on who's going to clinch that number 1 seed and home field advantage.
Yeah. A lot of implications, obviously. I mean, we got to have a W. I mean, at the end of the day, all of these things could happen, and obviously on any given Sunday. And I think it's notable, obviously, for someone like the Patriots to be playing a really good team, like the Ravens, playing very well right now, good football. Obviously, we need the number 1 seed. It'd be so nice to start the playoffs with a W, already passing the first round. It's my favorite thing about being number 1 seed is just the bye. That would be so crucial right now. So I don't know, man. It's going to be a really interesting game. I think on both sides of the ball, for sure. So I want to get into a couple of betting oriented things. I'm kind of sad because I always looked at this game on the schedule of, oh man, that's the Travis Hunter homecoming game. I can't wait to see my boy come back to Denver. Obviously he's hurt, but the parlays and the betting things that I was doing with Travis Hunter early in the year would have been so cool to see in person. But with that, let me get into some betting and some lines and some stats, I guess, for this game in itself. So here we go.
Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it.
So Rob, I kind of said I feel like we're kind of being disrespected to a certain extent because we're only 3.5 point favorites in this game. And I kind of feel like for the streak that we've been on, specifically at home, I kind of feel like it should be higher than that. It did start at 2.5, so it has gone up 1 point. But even so, 3.5 is still kind of disrespectful, I think. Being home favorites by just a little bit more than a field goal. But Vegas has over under at 46.5, which, that has climbed as well. That opened at 43.5. So that's climbed 3 points. So they think it's going to be a high scoring game, a lot of offense. 46.5 is a lot. What are your thoughts on, over under spread? I mean, I guess if you have a W, then 3.5 is a pretty easy number to hit. But what are your thoughts on the Vegas numbers coming out?
Well, I think honestly, the reason why they put the spread at 3.5 is because Denver has won such close games by 1 point, 2 points, 3 points. So, I mean, granted, in my opinion, the 3.5 favors the Vegas odds because, again, Denver's won most of their games by 1, 2, or 3 points. So if they win, but they don't cover the spread, Vegas wins. Now, if Bo Nix has a game like he did against Green Bay where he spreads the ball out, he uses his legs to keep drives alive, and our defense plays stingy and has a couple turnovers, then, obviously Denver's going to cover the spread easily. But over under at 46.5, 47 points, that is a very high scoring game. And I could see it. I could see this being in the 20s, maybe even low 30s for each team this game. But, obviously with my orange, shaded glasses on, I see Denver pulling out the win. So I think they're thinking that this is going to be a very low scoring game as far as win goes, but overall a high scoring game between both teams. Yeah.
I mean, when we have higher over and under specifically for our defense, I always think back to it's a bend but don't break. And we have seen a lot of bend. There are some points that could be put up against our defense, but it's still, that's scary to how we win games this year. Our strength is defense. To see a game where Vegas says we're going to put a lot of points up and it's going to be an offensive showdown. I don't like that formula. That's obviously not a formula that sticks to our strengths. So now,
Jay, one thing that I was just kind of thinking about as we're sitting here talking, Jacksonville has a hell of a kicker who actually holds
Mr. Little,
who actually holds the NFL record for longest field goal in NFL history. And I think he broke it twice. He broke it, and then he broke his own record again, if I'm correct. I may not be. But and with them being in Mile High with the thinner air, if he tries to hit a 70-yard field goal, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to lose my mind, bro.
It's possible. Well, I mean, you were talking about Jacksonville being a zero elevation team, and you're right. A couple other random things on that. It may be different elevation, but to a kicker, that's amazing. If you're little, I mean, if you can hit that at sea level, then my God, he might try a 75-yarder today. But I mean, normally at this time of year, at least we could lean on all right, you're going from warm temperature Jacksonville, Florida weather to, scary cold Denver, Colorado mountains, but it's going to be 60 degrees in Denver today, sunny. So it's, no big whoop on that factor. And it's I see there's no wind, it's going to be a gorgeous day. So that's kind of a equalizer of, Jacksonville, maybe with a little weather effect.
So I just looked it up for you, Jay. So Cam Little, who's the kicker for the Jacksonville Jaguars, has the official longest field goal in NFL history at 68 yards. The previous record was 66 by Justin Tucker, but Little also kicked a 70-yard field goal in the 2025 preseason.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
So he technically broke the record twice.
Yeah. Dude, I would love to see it. You know what? That could be the only points Jacksonville scores today. I'm fine with it. If we get to see history with Little just getting an opportunity to just belt one, Hell yeah.
But Jay, now I'm stressed because what happens if it comes down to the end of the game and they're out of field goal range and they're like, let's try a 72-yarder. What the hell?
I mean, that goes both ways, doesn't it? I want the entertainment value, but I don't want the anxiety and scare of that being the deciding factor.
Jay, my stress level was here. It has now been risen to here.
Absolutely. That is some scary stuff. All right. So I know you said, that I guess I didn't. Did you give an official score prediction, like where your marks are here?
I did not give an official prediction. If I had to give an official prediction,
this is it, man. Gospel. This is your word.
Oh man, I can see Denver winning this game 34-31. Yeah, 34-31, I think, is the score that I feel comfortable going with. Now, obviously, that is going to be on the higher side of things. If I had to have a little bit more of as Denver has won all these close games, I would say, 27-24 in that area. But I think with both of these offenses and the way that they're playing, I could see Denver winning 34-31.
I mean, still a high-scoring game. That's still a lot of bend out of that defense. So yeah, man, that's kind of where I'm at as well. I mean, I've got a high-scoring game. I think, I had this game as a W because I had the Packers game as a loss. I figured we would split this part of the schedule in a home back-to-back sense. But I thought the Packer game would be the trap game. But this has, turned out to be a much larger matchup than we envisioned, obviously, looking at the schedule on paper at the beginning of the year. I would say definitely Denver's going to cover. I think the Broncos will win this game. I think there's just too many positives that we can glean from specific to the defensive side of the ball. But again, my only worry being the Jones injury. But I've got Jacksonville still putting up probably 24 points. But I think our offense is going to go ham. I think since the bye week, Sean has absolutely given Bo a different degree of freelance, some gravity to be able to do what he wants in the pocket, to take a little bit more risk. And Bo, I feel like, has flourished way more than what we had seen for, the first, 8-9 games of the season. So I feel like our offense is going to put up a lot of points today. I've got 38-24. Denver almost with a 40 burger, but us putting up points. So, for all of and I don't even have prop bets open. I haven't gotten to that point today. I'm going to sit down here after this, maybe throw a couple in, but Denver offense, go the overs. I feel like we are going to spin the ball today and make a statement out of this game, kind of similar to last year when we beat the Falcons at home. And it was just one of those more well-rounded beatings. It didn't come down to the last minute. We clamped down and actually played a full game offensively. It didn't let up. So that's kind of what I want to see out of today for our offense. So a lot of points. So hit those overs on the Broncos offensive side of this.
Yeah, Jay, I was really confident, and now I'm sitting here going, that kicker's going to screw us. I could just feel it.
See, but man, in the swing of 3 points, that's why I'm saying is our offense, do not lay off. We need to build a lead so that a swing field goal makes no difference. Don't let Little beat you. Because he's incredible aside from altitude. So that's a scary combination for him. That's a good advantage they have. Anything else from a betting perspective, Rob?
No,
outlook?
I'm surprised we don't have Gary Neighbors in the chat. He's usually the big betting guy and throws his prop bets in.
I mean, Dave Glassman right there with him. Glassman's usually throwing down some bands, on some over-unders and some parlays. Dude, he's come in with some crazy parlays before, like 7-leggers that hope and a prayer, but hey, probably still better odds than the Powerball. So why not? Throw it up. All right, I want to transition, go into our main event here, the hype man. Let's get shiped, all. Let's soak it in and let's get jazzed up for this game here. So this is the best segment of the show. Let's get shiped. Let's get hyped. Shipe artists.
We gonna smack up Jacksonville. We gonna smack up Jacksonville what we did to Green Bay. We beat Green Bay. We gonna beat Jacksonville. I don't care what the Jacksonville Jaguars gonna say. I don't care what they're gonna say. They can shut it up. You know this logo. You know the vibe. Go. We gonna whoop on Jacksonville. We gonna smack Jacksonville what we did to Green Bay. Smack them. Smack them. Smack them. Smack them. Like what we did to Green Bay. Smack them. We coming for you, Jacksonville. You're next. You're next to victim list. Then Kansas City, they're next to. We coming. Expect. And all these haters talk about Jacksonville gonna come to us and beat us. I don't think so. With this altitude, they don't have a shot against us. We gonna show something what it's about. Let's go, Broncos. You know the logo. You know the vibe. Let's go. Let's go. Broncos, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh yeah, dude. If you don't have a smile on your face right now, what are you even doing, dude? Like I'm so jazzed for this game, man. And Shy, I would love to, give you royalties for the rest of the time if I can do the smack that on the soundboard and get that popping on every single show. Let's go.
We got
appreciate it, man.
We got D-Rock coming in saying LFG Shy, and we got Shy coming in saying you know it.
Yeah. Always appreciate that segment, man. Dude, Shy's the best. Shy is the greatest. That's why he gets his own segment pre-game, man. He always delivers. Never fails. So always appreciate that. Rob, kind of dwindling down here to kickoff. We got roughly 10 minutes-ish before kickoff.
Yes, sir.
Final thoughts. I know we already kind of gave our predictions and kind of where we stand with it. You obviously have got a lot more time than I to hash out those predictions. But what do you think pre-game before it pops off? Before you know, what's your final feelings, final vibes?
Hey, my final vibes is this. Look, Jacksonville is a competent team. None of us can take anything away from them. They're on a 5-game winning streak. They're putting up points. They've literally 180'd themselves from where they have been in previous years. Trevor Lawrence is no slouch. He's a very talented quarterback. Travis Etienne is a hell of a running back and is putting numbers up. But again, my orange colored glasses have all the faith in the world that Denver's defense is going to be able to shut their offense down. They're still going to score points, and that's fine, but I want to see Denver's offense answer and respond accordingly. And, put our foot on their throat and don't let up the entire game.
Oh, my God.
I want to see Denver come out and play with an attitude and some tenacity and be a little nasty, minus the penalties, okay? I just want to say that right now, minus the penalties. Hufanga, I'm talking to you. But, again, I want to see him come out and I want to see him play smash mouth football and put a statement to the NFL that the Denver Broncos are here and they are nobody to play with.
Dude, I am absolutely co-signing for that violence. I have, hockey player children beating the shit out of each other as we speak. And I'm all about it, man. Lower your shoulder and lay the boom out. We're the number 1 seed, for God's sakes. We're top dogs. Let's act like it for a week where we literally come into a game and, show our dominance, show a little foreshadowing to your Buffaloes out there, to your other AFC opponents that we may see in the playoffs to know, like, hey, Denver is for real, and you're going to have a thumping coming to the Mile High City in the playoffs. And that's why I predicted our offense to come at it with it, during this game. It's not going to be a defensive game. Like, our defense usually takes care of business. But today needs to be a day where we just, again, put our foot on the gas and just keep on trucking. It's a Bo Nix day, man. Let's have it. Valor out here saying, let the entire league know what time it is. Let's go, Denver. And that's what I mean, man. Let's accept the violence. Let's beat that, beep. Crew Talk Sports out there, if you're out there, belt to ass. Always appreciate their gift. It's a great bit that they got going on. Again, I co-sign that as well. But man, I want to see it happening today, man. High scoring, offense popping off. Defense, like you said, might give some points up, and that's okay because this is a top 5 or top 10 offense that we're playing. Jacksonville's not a slouch. This is not going to be an easy game. So I'm just excited to see, where the dust settles for today. So, Rob, really appreciate you being on with me for pregame. Man, it's going to be a great game. I'm really, really excited. And I'm going to steal your thunder. I'm stealing your thunder real quick, only because I want to soak it in. I want to put on my vision board for this game.
Denver's gonna win it! Oh, baby, they're gonna win this thing! You can stand up and salute in Denver. The Broncos have done it!
I really needed to see that.
I'm just kidding.
I needed to see it, Rob, okay? You see the future, you put it out there, and you let it be. Let the universe know what you want. So it's going to happen. A little foreshadowing to post-game coverage. But speaking of coverage, dude, you got the next leg of this. And the next leg of this, not to remind you, but the bucking booth is next with Bronco Rob, and I believe the Grunt. The Grunt is coming as well. So please tune in over there. Another amazing edition of, again, this Orange and Blue Network family that we got going on. It's been a pleasure to do business with you today, Bronco Rob. Boys, let's go get that dub. Let's go get it.
Let's
Bronco
go.
Rob, let's go with a little Mile High salute to end things. Let's go, Broncos country. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. Let's
Here comes the thunder. Feel that quake in Broncos country. We're never afraid to take it.